too much of anything, even in silence, leads to ruin. Today we explore how daily masturbation quietly chips away your strength, physically, mentally, and spiritually. This video shares 5 truths that reveal the silent damage and how to reclaim your power. 1. The silent drain on your energy. Masturbation, often regarded as a personal, private act, carries with it hidden consequences that aren't immediately visible. At first glance it may seem harmless, even normal, to indulge in it. The quiet of your mind might tell you that it's no big deal, that it's merely a natural act. However, over time, the cumulative effect of frequent indulgence can silently drain your energy, leaving you exhausted in ways you can't always identify. The real cost lies in the subtler impact it has on your physical, mental, and emotional reserves. While your body may seem to recover quickly, your energy, especially your mental energy, does not always bounce back. The brain uses considerable amounts of its resources in moments of arousal and release. When these cycles become frequent, your mental clarity and focus begin to fade. It's as if a portion of your vitality is being siphoned off for temporary satisfaction, leaving less available for your other pursuits. In the quiet after the act, you may feel a brief sense of relief, but soon after, you experience a sense of emptiness or even lethargy. It's a temporary fix that doesn't address the deeper underlying needs of the body and mind. True vitality, the kind that fuels creativity, focus, and deeper purpose, is rooted in the ability to preserve and channel one's energy effectively. Those who succeed in their pursuits are often those who have learned to conserve their energy, using it strategically to achieve meaningful goals. Strength, both mental and physical, is cultivated through discipline. It's found in moments of quiet stillness and reflection, not in the indulgence of fleeting pleasures. By reclaiming your energy, focusing it on your aspirations, and redirecting it to more meaningful endeavors, you begin to build lasting strength that transcends momentary satisfactions. True power comes from harnessing your energy and applying it where it truly counts. 2. The disruption of mental clarity. In the quiet spaces of the mind, true clarity resides. When we allow ourselves to be fully present and undistracted, our thoughts flow smoothly, our ideas connect, and we move through life with a sense of purpose. But when the mind is constantly clouded by internal compulsions, like the repeated urge to masturbate, this clarity is disrupted. The focus that once was clear becomes muddled, and the inner peace we seek turns into chaos. Masturbation, when done frequently, doesn't just affect the body, it reverberates through the mind. It starts as a simple indulgence, but the more often it occurs, the more it becomes a distraction. The physical pleasure of the moment is fleeting, yet the mental aftermath lingers far longer. It's as if the mind becomes caught in a loop, constantly shifting between desire, guilt, or relief, unable to settle into true peace. The constant mental tension created by these inner battles interrupts the flow of our thoughts. When you've experienced mental clarity, it feels almost like a calm river flowing effortlessly. But after frequent indulgence, your thoughts become fragmented. The natural course of your thinking is disrupted, and instead of achieving a sense of calm, your mind begins to scatter, unable to hold a clear direction. This disruption is not always noticeable at first, but over time it accumulates. The lack of mental clarity begins to affect your decision-making, your focus on important tasks, and even your ability to engage meaningfully with the world around you. When your mind is clouded, simple actions require more effort, and complex tasks feel overwhelming. The frustration grows, and the sense of inner peace becomes more elusive. To reclaim your mental clarity, you must understand that stillness and discipline are essential. True focus emerges when we clear the noise, when we stop distracting ourselves with short-term pleasures that only pull us away from the deep, purposeful engagement that fosters growth. Mental clarity is the foundation for all great achievements, and by eliminating distractions, you can once again reclaim your peace and focus. 3. The false sense of satisfaction. In a world where instant gratification is constantly within reach, many turn to masturbation as a quick way to find solace. The act in its moment seems to provide a sense of relief, a temporary escape from stress, anxiety, or boredom. Yet as fleeting as the physical pleasure is, so too is the satisfaction it brings. What feels like a momentary fix ultimately leaves behind an overwhelming emptiness. The truth is, this satisfaction is an illusion. It's a temporary high that masks deeper feelings of emptiness, unresolved needs, and unaddressed desires. While it may seem like a quick solution to inner turmoil, it does not lead to any meaningful growth or progress. Instead of feeling genuinely fulfilled, those who seek comfort in this act often find themselves left with an emotional void. This feeling of emptiness follows them, gradually eroding their sense of satisfaction and reinforcing the cycle of seeking temporary relief. The paradox is clear: the more one indulges, the less fulfilled they feel. True satisfaction comes not from quick fixes but from the deep, sustained effort that leads to personal growth. It comes from creating a life of purpose and discipline, where actions align with goals and where real achievements are the result of hard work and perseverance. When we focus on growth, whether mental, emotional, or physical, we build a foundation for lasting satisfaction. Rather than looking for an escape in fleeting moments of indulgence, true fulfillment arises from the discipline to stay focused on long-term goals. This path requires effort and resilience, but it's the only way to experience real, lasting satisfaction. In a world full of distractions, it's essential to recognize that true fulfillment is not found in momentary relief. Instead, it's in the quiet strength of resisting distractions, embracing purpose, and allowing growth to unfold over time. By building a life that focuses on meaningful progress, we can attain a satisfaction that is deep, lasting, and fulfilling, one that goes beyond temporary pleasure and leads to lasting happiness and purpose. 4. The loss of self-control. Self-control is a cornerstone of personal growth. It is the ability to resist immediate temptation in favor of long-term goals, the skill to prioritize discipline over desire. However, when indulgence becomes a daily habit, especially with activities like masturbation, this essential trait begins to wither away. What may initially seem like a harmless release can slowly erode one's ability to manage impulses and maintain focus on more meaningful pursuits. Thoreau's words, "The price of anything is the amount of life you exchange for it," resonate deeply here. Every moment spent in indulgence is a moment sacrificed. This isn't just a loss of time, it is a loss of energy, potential, and self-respect. The more often you give in to fleeting pleasures, the more you exchange a piece of your personal mastery for a temporary fix. Over time, this erodes your sense of control, leading to a life that feels reactive rather than proactive. Indulging daily is a slow surrender to a lack of self-discipline. Each time you give in to an impulse, you reinforce the pattern of instant gratification. Eventually, this cycle takes root in your mind and body, and you begin to find it harder to resist other temptations or stay committed to your goals. This erosion of self-control doesn't just affect one area of life, it ripples into every aspect, from work and relationships to personal growth. In the stillness of quiet moments, true self-control can be nurtured. Self-control is not about denying desires, but choosing to act with purpose and intention. It is about recognizing the fleeting nature of indulgence and prioritizing what truly matters. When you choose discipline over desire, you strengthen your willpower, and this growth in self-mastery allows you to pursue higher aspirations with focus and determination. In the long run, self-control becomes the foundation for a meaningful and fulfilling life. Rather than giving in to instant gratification, you begin to reclaim the time, energy, and focus that were once lost. By practicing restraint, you not only regain control over your actions, but also build a life that is led by purpose, not impulse. 5. The destruction of your creative energy. Creativity is one of the most valuable resources we have, a driving force behind innovation, art, and progress. It flows from within, drawing upon our inner energy and focus. However, like any resource, creativity is finite and can be drained if not carefully managed. One of the most significant drains on creative energy is the act of indulgence, particularly when it comes to masturbation. While it may provide momentary relief or distraction, it ultimately steals from the very wellspring of energy that could otherwise be channeled into creativity. Creativity thrives in silence, in moments of stillness and focus. The true creator understands that their energy is precious. When you allow yourself to indulge excessively, you deplete your inner resources, leaving less energy available for the pursuits that truly matter. Just as an artist carefully selects the materials for their masterpiece, you must choose where to direct your energy. By expending it on fleeting pleasures, you create an invisible drain that saps your motivation, your drive, and your ability to think deeply. The impact of this drain is felt in the inability to create something meaningful. Instead of focusing on long-term goals and ambitious projects, you find yourself stuck in cycles of instant gratification, unable to break free and tap into your true potential. Your mind becomes cluttered with the need for momentary satisfaction, drowning out the deeper thoughts that are required for true creative breakthroughs. True creators are able to harness their energy for the work that truly matters, the kind of work that requires sustained effort, discipline, and focus. By resisting the urge to indulge in distractions, you preserve the energy that fuels your greatest ambitions. Creativity flourishes when you hold back, when you choose to invest in yourself and your long-term vision, rather than seeking immediate but empty pleasures. This preserved energy becomes the driving force behind all meaningful work. When you understand the true cost of draining your creative energy, you begin to see indulgence for what it really is, a theft of your potential. By practicing restraint, you protect the well of creativity that lies within you, ensuring it is always ready to propel you forward into greater achievements. The path to true strength is not found in fleeting indulgence, but in quiet discipline. Reclaim your vitality, your clarity, and your purpose. The work you were meant to do awaits, and it begins when you step into the silence and choose growth. If you resonate with this message, subscribe to Echo of Legends and embark on a journey of self-mastery.